Pubs, restaurants and hairdressers are all preparing to open their doors again in most of England this weekend. The government says it is safe to do so as long as the guidelines are followed carefully. But one member of SAGE, that is the body of senior scientific advisers to the government, says the moves are too extensive and highly irresponsible. Now, the latest official number of people reported to have died after testing positive for COVID-19 in the past 24 hours increased by 176. Bringing that total number of deaths to 43,906. Our health editor, Hugh Pym, has more details.
Preparing for opening time on Saturday in England for restaurants, cafes, hairdressers and many other traders, and on Friday for some of those in Northern Ireland. And amongst them all, there's a keen sense of anticipation.
Can't wait to make everyone look good again. Everyone's walking around with a helmet on their head, so I just can't wait to just get back to my craft. It's been hard not cutting hair.
Pubs too will reopen on Saturday in England after more than 3 months of lockdown. But there's a warning from a member of the government's expert advisory committee, SAGE, that it's too risky and shouldn't be allowed.
What will happen is the government turns around and blames the people for behaving irresponsibly, when actually I would say it's highly irresponsible to be having so many lifting of restrictions and doing it on a Saturday, especially opening pubs and restaurants indoors, where there's likely to be a high rate of transmission.
A government spokesperson said clear guidelines had been set out for pubs and other venues in England to keep customers safe, and all the measures would be kept under constant review. Dawn, who's a critical care nurse, was one of the faces of the early stages of the crisis, with a plea for people to stop panic buying in supermarkets.
People like me that are going to be looking after you when you're at your lowest. Just stop it, please.
Now, with lockdown measures about to ease, she had this message.
I think psychologically people need to have a little bit more of the normal life back, and I totally understand that. But yes, yeah, it is quite worrying when you see these pictures, these scenes of people up close with each other. It is a concern, and I'm hoping that people just remember what we're all doing, what we're still fighting against, really.
Expanding virus testing and the tracing of contacts of people who are infected is seen as essential if future outbreaks are to be spotted and curbed. A former health secretary told me he believes that a major increase in testing capacity is required.
The next big step needs to be to introduce mass testing, starting with healthcare workers, people in the care system and the NHS, so that we can make sure that hospitals and care homes really are safe and nip in the bud any infections that start there.
Testing after the lockdown easing this weekend will be especially important. Today people were drinking outdoors. NHS leaders and ministers will watch anxiously to see how they use their new freedom to go into pubs and bars across most of England. Huw Pym, BBC News.